Welcome back everyone to Pineridge, and today we are going to be building the mother pine. Yes, I know I said last time that we will be building a room on the tavern in which to actually move my stuff, but I decided that the mother pine would be a better build for today because I'm posting this one on Christmas. It's a day later than usual, but I thought it would be a fitting one to do the mother pine for a Christmas release. And in light of that, it looks like that Mojang turns your chests into Christmas presents on Christmas Eve and on Christmas Day. So we'll have that a little bit of decoration. I guess it'll be a normal chest after that. Now this block here, this block I placed here to tell me that this is the division point between the north and south halves of the map. That's right. This is the 0 point for the north-south line. So I think I'm facing the right direction. So you can see here I'm at block 115, 15, 72, 0. So I decided that the mother pine would be most appropriate to be right on that line. And while I had considered the possibility of putting the mother pine on a stream, in the end I decided, alright, I will put it on top of this hill instead. Now the mother pine is going to be, well, obviously I have to use spruce since we don't have real pines in this game, but I thought it's going to be a really large spruce tree, and it has to be artificially built because I can't get a spruce tree this large. Now I had been wondering exactly how large I was going to make it. At one point I was considering doing it a lot smaller because a huge one doesn't necessarily fit in, but I thought, nah, it's the mother pine. Let's make it really big since this is the thing on which the entire campaign is going to be centering on. Now, what I'm doing here, oops, we want this to look like a proper tree. So what I'll be doing is building this with a hollow trunk because it's going to save me a lot of wood because I'm going to need a huge amount of wood because this is obviously going to be a really tall tree. I figure about 50 blocks. Now I can't make it solid like this all the way through. Oh, that's right. That's not going to work out very well. How am I going to... Oh, wait. I got an idea. Now, what I'm wondering about here is what to do concerning something. Oh, yeah, I should have had that in the... Well, perhaps that wasn't the best idea. Because what I'm thinking of is having some... Oops. Here we go. Some of these ivy blocks and have that like that. What would happen? Now, I was hoping that maybe I could... actually, I may still be able to do that. Let's bring this here. And bring this here. Now, what happens if I just cut this down here? Cut this down here. Now, can I go through this? Yes. So I was thinking that maybe this could be a way in order to enter this, and I could also use this as something to climb with. Well, not if it's against that, but there could be a more of a climbing ivy here, and I could use this in order to climb to the top. Good, and that'll help in my building efforts. So I had gone to the jungle, gathered quite a bit of ivy. Actually, I'm holding all the ivy, so I've got a couple of stack and almost a second stack of that. I also have a large numbers of spruce leaves that I'll be using in the build, and quite a large amount of spruce wood. So I've been spending quite a lot of time getting all that prepared for this episode, which is another reason why it's a day later. That plus I thought that it being ideal to releasing this on Christmas are the two reasons why I did a little switch around in my normal schedule. There we go. And this is, of course, going to take a long while. So what I will do is I will cut here for a moment and see how large I get this before I start running out of blocks. I am back, and I have managed to get this to be quite tall already, as you can see. And I also just remembered one of the other plans I had on this build, and that was that it would not be a perfect square, because when the tree is this large, we could add a little bit more dimension to it. That means that I will need to avoid the center, actually, with the ivy. I put all this ivy in the center. So instead, what I'm going to do, okay, yeah, right, good. I guess it's called either ivy or vines. Now, what I really wanted to do instead was this, and instead have it up here. Now, the reason why I'm getting rid of all the old stuff is because, let's face it, this is going to be really expensive on the wood, and it's already, because I used up a huge number of stacks of wood already in this build. Alright. And I also put this bit of stairway in here to help me with the matter. The idea there is to figure that add a little bit of dimensions free. I know it's hard to really get the figure. Actually, that's what the vines could be for. Well, I don't know if they'll give any depth to it, but because the trouble with vines is that they tend to spread. So therefore, it's not going to be a perfect sense of depth that one would normally like to have. Alright. But the idea of this here is that we have a full set of stairs here. And all around like this. And how do I get... that's what dirt blocks are for. Alright, good. Well, I had a dirt block there, but that's not going to be as much of a problem. Ooh. But leaving wood like that will be a problem. But anyway, that is the plan to... Oops. Well, that was a bit much even with feather falling. Guess I would have taken more damage otherwise. Now let's get back up here. Good. See if I could make this jump, which is... Ooh, whew. Well, for me, that's an achievement. I know for most of you that's a simple jump, but for me, that's an achievement. And the idea here then is to get this up like this. I'll just come down afterwards and pick up all these fallen logs, and good. Now I may have to go and do a little bit of tweaking here and there afterwards. This is the basic shape, and up here, good. And now I could just go down the stairs for the rest of them. And that picks that up. Now the next thing I need to do, though, in addition to rounding that out a little bit, is to start on the exterior, on all the leaves and the like. And I've got quite a number of spruce leaves with me. Now, see, I have all these stacks here of spruce leaves. I don't know exactly how many I could, but I'm going to be starting out. The question is how high should be before I start out. So I guess I could compare this to some of the ordinary spruce trees. So of course my starting point would be a little bit higher. So you look at these, like this one, you go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6. So therefore, let's say I go to 20. Oops, maybe that wasn't the brightest idea I've had. Definitely not the brightest idea I've had. Alright, well, okay, good. Fixed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to 20. Not up that way. All right. And my way of counting this usually is to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's a lot tougher to climb this up when you have those bits that are indented there, so I may have to rethink about what I'm doing on that. Alright, so what I'm going to do is right here, actually I think I'll start right here. And this is where I'm going to be starting my a little connection to the exterior here. And what I'm going to be doing here is, because this is not only going to be a major landmark here, I'm going to turn this actually into a bit of a tree house. Alright. And therefore I'm going to need quite a bit of leaves, because I'm going to use the leaves as a ooh boy, this is going to be real scary to do, isn't it? I've had a couple of times where I've thought I was in shift mode and it turned out I wasn't. So I tend to be really cautious about these places. Alright, good. Okay, good. And I'm going to have to also go out a bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be placing some, oh. Well, how about that? I didn't think about that little trick there. Oh yes, of course. What I can do there is go around it. That way, yeah, of course, you go around it. Good. Good. And let's see, I am here. Good. Good, and so the idea there is then that the ivy is going to just be a way in order to get into here. And I'm going to try to do this all the way around. Actually, maybe I'll do this jutting thing only here and not all the... That actually, it might help in the treehouse framing if I do that only here. So perhaps that's how I'll do it. Alright, now let's get this a little bit more out here. So I'll just be going all around here quite a number of times. And seeing how often I can, how far out I can go. Oops. Oh, right there, I forgot a block. And I figure I'd be doing this. I better get downstairs and sleep. So I'm going to go out, I'm thinking going out to about 10 or 12, somewhere around there. And then I'll put on top of that some planks for the like in order to give me a floor that's more typical. Alright, well that's just starting out, so of course it looks a bit thin. And if I think that's too high, I could always add another layer below that. But I figure I could start there, then go up maybe every 5 or 6 blocks to another layer, and all the way up, and this could be a nice multi-level home that I have here. Now what I'll do is I'll take a little break here, and I will go and fill out the first level a bit and get back to you, and we can have a look at what I've done. After a couple hours and a large amount of resources, I have managed to finish the first layer of the leaves. Now my original plan was to go with a squarish design as you see normally on these trees, but as you can see, I decided in the end to do a circle. I thought that would be a little bit more in tune with trees. So I think that worked out reasonably well. Now down here, I've decided to add torches under some of these leaves here to add some light so that it won't be perfectly dark here, because it was getting alarmingly dark as I was going through here. Now let's get up here. Now I know why I put that stairwell inside, but I'm finding that the ivy is the easiest way to get up here. It's a lot faster going up the ivy if I am confident that I'm not just going to completely fall off. So I have this all going around here so I can see quite a distance. Now, what I'm thinking of doing for this is scaling back what I was thinking of doing. I think I'll have 2 more layers, probably coming in a little bit so I don't have to use as much of these leaves as possible, because all those spruce leaves that I've had, and this is the entirety of what I've got left. I've used up everything else. So I'm thinking having 2 more habitable layers and start tapering in the tree so that right now it's 5 by 5, bringing in 3 by 3 for the upper parts of the tree. And of course I'll still have some leafy areas above that, but it's not going to be designed to be a habitable area. And I'm hoping that will give me a nice thing to view. Now, this is of course also the fastest way down, and fortunately, I actually figured out how to use that properly so I don't go whap and take damage on it. Now let's see how this looks from a distance. Now unfortunately, of course, until I get all of it done, it's not going to look very good. Yeah, right now, well, it looks like a giant mushroom or something like that. Oh well, well, mushrooms aren't supposed to be green, but you get the idea. I can see it for quite a distance, that's good. Of course, I'll still manage to get lost anyway, since I am in the middle of a forest, and things like this are hard to see from a distance, but hopefully, occasionally it might help to guide me. It's not exactly like a lighthouse in the middle of the sea, which... God! Okay, let me see if I get this right. No, I didn't get it right. Oh well. Okay. Well, at least I mitigated the damage. So it could have been a lot worse than it was. Okay. This whole thing was... This was the other problem, is now I've got in this dark area where things could spawn left and right. Where is that skeleton? You see a skeleton anywhere around here? Yeah, where the... Yeah. Oh, there it is. Here we go. Geronimo! Whew. Oh. Well, I think that'll be it for this episode. Next episode, I'll probably return to the tavern and take care of that, and because I'll need some time in order to collect the resources to finish this build. But until this time, this is Pineleaf Needles saying farewell from Pineridge. Thank you everyone for watching this episode of Pineleaf Plays Minecraft Pineridge, a vanilla Minecraft survival series. That is all for today, and this is Pineleaf Needles reminding you to mine responsibly.